Hello, everyone. You're listening to Let's Get Rocked, and for today, which is the 9th of September 2023, we are having some special guests from the United States, more specifically Johnny Nasty Boots. Johnny, here it is. I'll let it over to you right now.
Hello, my name is Johnny. I play guitar and I sing in Johnny Nasty Boots. We are originally from Mexico City, but we just moved to LA back in January 2021, and
Cool.
very happy to be here in the States.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm Oscar Burgos. I'm the drummer. I'm from Monterrey, and I met Johnny in Mexico City back in 2015, something like that, and got into the band in 2019, and been crazy for years till now.
Cool. Thank you very much. The first question of this interview is the following one. What made you choose this name for the band? Why Johnny Nasty Boots? Please tell the audience a little bit about the beginnings of the band and why did you choose this specific moniker for the band's
It was a gift
name?
of God. Yeah, definitely. I started using the Johnny Nasty Boots nickname
Yeah.
as an email, like one day I was like just creating an email, and I was I don't know if I was listening in that specific moment to Can't You Hear Me Knocking by the Rolling Stones.
Cool. That's a very cool song, by the way.
Fingers. Yeah, it's one of my ultimate Rolling
It's a
Stones
classic.
jams.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic rock jam.
Yeah, and on that song, Mick Jagger sings Plastic Boots.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a live version where he says Nasty Boots.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's cool.
I
And
was
funny.
like,
And very
okay.
funny.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Johnny Nasty Boots sounds like a bluesman.
Yeah.
You know?
Sort of.
So
Right.
I was like, it sounds great. So I was like, this is a badass email.
It is. It is actually. It is. It is. Well, congrats
So
on.
it's like if Mick Jagger named our band.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
So Mick Jagger was actually the main influence behind the name of the band. That's very cool, and congrats on actually choosing this moniker for the band. It's pure genius, pure musical genius.
Thank you. So
You're most welcome.
I was like starting to perform shows back in 2014 as a bluesman only. Like Johnny Nasty Boots, I started the project playing only blues songs. Like kind of like 30s and 40s, kind of like Delta and all that influence of Mississippi, Fred McDowell and Robert Johnson, and
Yeah.
also Howlin' Wolf and
Yeah.
guys like that. I really love the blues.
Yeah.
So
Great
I was
cats.
like, yeah, I was like, okay, I need a stage name for those shows. So I was like, actually, I have the perfect name, Johnny Nasty Boots, and here we are now having an interview with you. So that's the story of the name of the Johnny Nasty Boots.
Cool. Thank you very much for letting me know and for letting the audience know a little bit about you in the beginning. Please tell the audience a bit about yourselves in musical regards, how the band came to be, and what was it like during your early days together. Thank you.
Well, like I was mentioning you, I started playing blues songs back in 2014-15. I recorded an album in Sonic Ranch in 2017. That it's the one you can hear right now on the Spotify. That's the first album, and Oscar joined the band in 2019. We have met earlier, like around 2015, like he was saying to you, but I asked him to drum for the band when we were like start hanging a lot during that year. We're start like going a lot to parties and to concerts and to the pub, the bar in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it was like the most natural thing to do. Like I was needing a drummer, and I was having one right next to me, just drinking whiskey with me, you know.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, we were all the time saying like, "Hey, we should play together. We should do something together. Yeah, just jam or whatever." So there were a few times where we got together to jam, especially on Christmas, because we used to do this thing called Navi Jam, which like Christmas jam with a lot of friends.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
that was the first time that we played a Johnny Nasty songs together, which was Jump and Shout. And yeah, and then I got invited to a show to play the drums on that part because it has like a drum section and Jump and Shout. So yeah, that's how it started. And yeah, like Johnny says, I think it was a really natural thing, and we were really excited to do things together. So yeah, it was amazing. Just the beginning of, of us getting together, we were just so excited to play together, and we still are.
Yeah, cool. That's basically a classic rock and roll get together story. This is how most bands, get together in a rock and roll environment. That's what I think.
It's interesting because it felt at some point like I was already in the band, even when I was not, because we were hanging. I was hanging with Johnny more than his bandmates.
Oh, cool. That's a bit strange, and so it actually meant that you two guys should be bandmates in the new band. I think this is the logic for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a good story.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now on to the next question, and I'll like you guys to be as brief as you can because this is simple yet a very complex question at the same time. What were your musical influences? Just name the main subgenres of rock music or of any other musical genre, if you will, that really got you inspired to write music and perform together.
Yeah, I think for the kind of like I can mention a few. I mean, I can mention a lot of names actually. You know, like I love music. Oscar loves music. We listen to a lot of music. We have in common, of course, Led Zeppelin. Like we were saying of the record.
Yeah.
We love the Stones, of course.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah. But
even
the
Beatles
first
fans
band,
do, right? And vice versa. And vice versa.
yeah, like the first band that I like it when I was on my job when I was probably like 11 or 10. It was Gorillaz.
No, cool.
I love Gorillaz. That it's not
Same.
it's very different. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not rock and roll, but
Yeah.
at the same time
It's alternative rock. It's more alternative rock, and it's quite unconventional. I dare say, even by rock and roll standards.
Melbourne, it's a genius. He's definitely one of my heroes. He inspired me a lot on his way of writing music and arrange and produce music. But yeah, I like a lot of music. I love Frank Zappa, for example. I like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
From Australia, yeah, great band.
Yeah, they are amazing. They are one of the most exciting bands from the last decade, I will say, and I think they are leading kind of like a lot of things that are happening right now around rock music and alternative music.
Pretty much, I'd say yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I like all the 60s, you know, the 70s, the
Classic
blues,
stuff. Classic stuff.
Classic stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm always listening to new stuff. I love Jack White. I love Queens of the Stone Age too. They are
White Stripes. Yeah.
But I would say more Jack White by himself.
Okay, Jack White solo instead of the White Stripes.
The White Stripes.
Okay.
His multiple bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jack White doing whatever Jack White does.
Yeah.
Totally.
Very,
I
very
got
cool.
into the classics of rock and roll because of my father. So my initial inspirations or influences were just the classics like the Beatles, the Stones, Zeppelin, the Who, AC/DC, Rush, Black Sabbath, all of those classic bands from the 70s. But then I got into a lot of other music, but I like all decades of rock, like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Like
Yeah.
I'm into all of it. Like
From the
I love all
classic,
kinds of
yeah,
rock.
from the classic heyday of rock and roll, from let's say even the 1950s, if you will, up to the present day.
Yeah, totally. And then I got into a lot of other genres. I think the ones that got me more inspired, besides obviously rock and roll or classic rock, it's punk and some pop too. And I feel like I add some of that punk side on me and pop side on me to the songs. And in a strange way, it fits with all the blues influence of Johnny. So we are this kind of weird combination that in a way it works. So it's really interesting how it works, and we share a lot of common bands. We don't share all of it. Like there's things that we are like not on the same. Like we don't like everything.
So you're not on the
We don't.
same page with everything, but there's still a lot of common ground, right?
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think but I think that still makes it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very intriguing and very interesting. That's a quintessentially rock and roll stuff about the band, because the various band members involved in this project, they don't always need to agree on everything. That's what a rock and roll band is all about in the first place, right? There needs to be some sort of individuality, and there needs to be originality and independence regarding each band member. But at the same time, there's a lot of common ground and a lot of common points between all band members, and this is where rock and roll chemistry kicks in.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Yeah. Now let's.
I mean, like there's a lot of bands. Like I think it's very important to have like a diversity of sounds and music influence because just we said the Rolling Stones are rock and roll and Led Zeppelin and the Beatles. But hold on, what about all the other stuff they have that doesn't fit on the rock and roll, like status. It's like they have pop, they have classical, they have
Yeah.
jazz, they have so many stuff there. So I think all the greatest rock bands are the ones that are not like only stuck in rock.
Yeah.
It's like you have to put more vitamins into your music.
Yeah. Now let's head on to the discography part of your band. Please tell us a bit about your discography so far and what are your current and next musical projects. Do you intend to collaborate with other artists and bands from LA or other parts of the US for that matter, or the world anytime during the near future? Thank you very much.
Yeah, the discography so far, we have this album self-titled Johnny Nasty Boots that it's the studio album that we have. You can listen to that album on Spotify or Apple Music, or even we have physical copies. We made a small run of 1,200 copies that are almost sold out, thankfully. So it's available everywhere. This album was produced by Juno Viveros. It's a great, great, great friend and producer from Mexico City. He's a Grammy Award winning, so it was really cool to work by his side doing this record. We co-produced the album together. And then we released a live album that we recorded here at the Whiskey A Go Go on 2019. That was before we moved here to LA.
Wow, that's a legendary venue. That's a legendary venue.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite venues to play. It's
No wonder.
It's like so many energy and it sounds great and it looks great. I love the whiskey.
Yeah. When I think of this club, I inevitably think about the Doors. This is the first band that comes to my mind when thinking about Whiskey A Go Go.
Definitely. It's one of the I think the all the legends and also the movie.
Yeah.
The movie give us a put us an image on our head, like Jim Morrison there
Yeah,
at the stage.
The Oliver Stone film. That's what
Yeah,
you're
that one.
talking about. Yeah, well, the movie is actually jive. Sorry for, sorry for
I
making
know,
such.
but
That's what
it's
Raymond Zarek
fun to
said in an
watch.
interview. Yeah, it's good fiction. It's good fiction, but
Yeah,
the real
yeah.
Jim Morrison was
Was wild.
not anywhere quite like the portrayal that. What was the name of the actor? Um,
Uh,
I had
Val
a
Kilmer.
I know him.
It's Val
It's Val
Kilmer.
Kilmer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lapsus. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Val.
in the movie, Jim Morrison, it's a dick.
Yeah, yeah. He's not really the real Jim Morrison that should have been portrayed or should have been portrayed there. That's a pity. Well, but anyway, okay. So Manzarek says it pretty well that the Oliver Stone film is a jive. Is jive basically. It's not real in the sense of the band
Yes,
being
it's
portrayed the
unfair.
way it was. And I don't think it was only related to Jim Morrison as the frontman, but rather the band entirely.
Yeah. So, well, um, I think Jim Morrison wasn't a dick, and I don't like
Of course.
how they
Yes.
put Jim Morrison.
When he was drunk, he was not that nice. I mean, most drunks
Yeah,
are
but I
not
think
that
it was.
nice, just as Raymond Zarek put it, right?
Yeah, but
But
I think it's very
overall,
exaggerated.
yeah, but
Movie.
overall, he was a great human being. He was. People asked Manzarek, people asked Ray Manzarek if Jim Morrison was nice, and Manzarek often replied, of course he was nice, but it was just his stage persona that got inflamed every once in a while, and this goes pretty much hand in hand with being one of the most adored and one of the most well-known rock and roll stars at that time, and it goes hand in hand with being the frontman of any major rock and
Yeah.
roll band. I think it was
Um,
not
we,
only related to him specifically, but then again, these cases vary from frontman to frontman, right?
yeah, definitely. So we have a little story, if I can add it,
Yeah, of course, sure,
with
please.
with a Doors member. Oh my gosh! Sunset Strip, because wow, that's crazy. Yeah, we have a friend that lives in front of the this rainbow. It happened last Sunday. Yeah. This happened not even a week ago. Yeah, so we have a friend that lives in front of the rainbow, and last Sunday was Labor Day, so they do like a big party at the rainbow, and so we were across the street just jamming. It's a rock and roll apartment of a friend, and we were jamming Jimi Hendrix. I was on drums,
Cool.
and
Which
Johnny
song?
was on guitar.
Which song, if I might ask?
It was like a combination. It was a combination of Foxy Ladies with Foxy Lady.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice combination, by the way.
Because I was playing Purple Haze.
Cool.
But the singer starts singing Foxy Ladies.
Yeah, it was a mashup, right?
Yeah. So there we were jamming, and suddenly an old guy stands in the door, and he's just like studying us. He's just like watching us play, just for like a 1 minute or 2 minutes. And then this guy realized it was Robby Krieger from the Doors.
Cool. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know.
The legendary Robby Krieger, right? The lead guitarist of the Doors, the secret weapon of the Doors, as Raymond Zarek often put it in a couple of interviews, because he actually should have deserved far more credit for some well-known Doors songs. I mean, true Doors fans know that he actually composed a lot of songs for the band, a lot of well-known songs.
So it was really crazy. I was literally playing guitar, and I just opened my eyes, and I was like, holy shit, that guy looks like Ray Manzarek. It's Ray Manzarek. And Robby Krieger. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, oh my god, it's Robby Krieger. And I was like, holy, it's Robby Krieger. So I started like, I have to do my best. So I was like really good inspiration for the next solo. And I was kind of like wanting to leave the guitar and just run outside the house and be like, hey, can I have a photo? Like being a fan, but I didn't want to leave the jam at the same time. Like, I cannot be like a unprofessional.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it was really fun.
Understandable.
We run outside. We run outside the building, the house, I mean, and I was like, I think it was Rain Manzarek, and there was other guy that it was with him. And he was like, yeah, it was Robby Krieger.
Yeah. Cool. Well, he's from
Yeah.
LA, right?
Yeah,
Robbie.
he lives here. He went to the Rainbow to play
A couple of
like
gigs,
a
right?
jam.
Concerts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. He's still
yeah,
active. He's in his late
yeah.
70s and he's still active as a musician. That's absolutely brilliant. It's commending.
That's the goal. That's the goal, you know.
That's the
Yeah.
goal. Yeah, we were really impressed and shocked that one of the most legendary guys from the most legendary bands was like watching us, even though it was just for a couple of minutes. But we
Uh-huh.
were just like
Yeah.
really impressed and couldn't believe it that he was there. And you know, it's one of the magical things that happens in Los Angeles, in West Hollywood, on the Sunset Strip. So
Yeah,
that's part of
absolutely.
the reason why we moved here, because you can find these people and yeah, this is the zone. This is the people that we want to meet and that we want to
Yeah.
hang with.
It's a
I would
magical
say,
city. It's a magical city.
yeah,
It's LA
another
is the woman. LA is the woman. You know the classic LA woman record. Well, Robbie Krieger, I
Yeah.
think, said in an interview that LA is actually the woman. You know, because
Oh,
they got inspired by the highway, by the road leading to LA, and it's sort of curvy, you know, the way it looks as seen from above, and so well, LA is the woman.
I see.
that's interesting. That's
Yeah,
really interesting.
that's what I
Well, yeah,
remember
we were just
from watching an
really
interview
impressed.
with Robbie Krieger a long while ago,
Awesome.
with him or with Raymond Zarek, but I think it was with Robbie.
Mm.
Awesome.
Well, okay. Let me continue with the
With the
discography
discography part,
thing.
yeah, please, yeah.
So we have this live album recorded at the Whiskey a Go Go in 2019. We released that album during the pandemic. We did a limited run on cassette tape that it sold out immediately. It was really cool to have that support from the people that likes the music, you know, because we were not making any penny. It was a really tough time. So being capable of putting out music and people receive it that well it's a blessing, I will say.
Indeed.
After that, I recently re-released the Johnny Nasty Boots, the physical edition on platforms, because the physical edition got a bonus track and some other difference in the mix. So I just put this version out on platforms. Just it was released on the 11th of the last month of August, so it's very fresh. And also we are releasing the official bootlegs. We have a lot of recordings, and now
Cool.
on these days you have to play the game on Spotify. It's like a social media, so you have to put out there a lot of music. So we decide to have all these official bootlegs and put them out so people can listen, because they are really good jams. So right now we're putting some of these, the official bootleg number one, that it's Johnny Nasty Boots live at Reactor 105, that it's a really famous radio station in Mexico.
Cool.
They give us the number one song.
It has a very cool name.
Yeah, and it's really cool music. So
So it's Reactor 55, something like that.
Reactor 105, that it's like
Six-
105.
Oh, 105. Yeah, 100 and yeah, 105. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So we're having this series of releases of the singles of that album, and later that album is gonna be available on platforms. But the real deal is that we just record new music in the studio. We have some upcoming songs. We still don't know if it's gonna be an EP, it's gonna be singles, or we're going to collect more money to finish and make it an album. We still don't know, but we have new music coming. We recorded here in Echo Park here in Los Angeles. with Mark Rains, that it's an amazing sound engineer and music producer. He has worked with Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Dead Valley Girls, Marilyn Manson, etc. He's amazing.
Duff McKagan. He has worked with Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, he did one album. He was the engineer too.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
He has done a lot of stuff.
Indeed.
He's very professional. And right now we're mixing the tracks. Probably they're gonna be released on the next year, and we have some cool names involved too. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for those amazing news.
Cool, cool, very cool. And now for the last question of this interview, please tell us how music changed your lives. How did you see rock music in the beginning when you first had contacts with it, and how do you actually see rock music heading to, in which direction in the near future, including your music? Thank you.
Well, music has given me everything. That's how music has changed my life. Has given me everything. All the amazing people that I have met through the years, all the experience, all the traveling has been always because of the music. So I have been playing on stage since I was probably 13 years old. I started
Amazing.
very young on this beautiful career.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And has been, I mean, music. It's my life. If I don't have shows, if I don't play, I get depressed.
I understand
So,
this very well. As a fan of music, primarily as a fan of music.
yeah, even if I don't hear music, some days like I need to hear music every day. Otherwise, it's like I don't know. My days are very
Dull.
gray,
Yeah,
say.
very dull, very depressing, very,
Very gloomy.
bereft of, gloomy, bereft of any essence, any life essence. So no music, no life, in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a food for the soul.
Yeah, absolutely, always,
And
always.
and it's crazy, how I was telling you, like this music has given me everything, and the fact that my life has changed so much since I moved here, since we moved here to LA in January 2021. Um,
I think it was 2022.
yeah, so, I'm sorry, 2022. Yeah, January last year. Um, it's the fact that we are here in LA. It's because of the music. So yeah, music has literally changed my life in so many aspects and has given me everything. So where the rock it's leading, the only thing I know for sure is that rock is never gonna die, because thank God it's not a trendy thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Has never
timeless,
been
it's
a
a timeless
trendy.
musical genre because it has so much life to it, so much great essence to
It's
it, and an amazing legacy behind.
Yeah, and it's authentic, so it's
Absolutely,
gonna be there forever.
100%.
I mean, the Rolling Stones are just putting a new album, you know. They just
I
released
did
a
not
song.
know
It's like,
that. Thank you very much for
wow.
letting me know. That's
Oh,
amazing.
really? It's called Angry. Go check it out. It's so good.
Cool. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, life has changed me too with music. Like I wouldn't be here in LA not doing this interview if it wasn't for music. And drums was the first talent that I had when I was really young. Like I started playing drums around 4. Like I was really into music since I was a little kid. My dad introduced me to rock and roll, and he started supporting me to play the drums. So it was like the first thing that I knew that I could do. It was to play drums, even though obviously I wasn't playing it good because I was just a little kid. But it was something that was kind of easy for me to do. Like I knew how to do it. So that was my first hobby and my first talent. And in all of my career, it has been like next to music, because I also do TV host and radio host and interviews, and I started like acting when I was like 9 or 10. But even on
Awesome.
those projects, when I was
Congratulations.
acting, thank you. Even those projects, we had songs. and we were performing shows as a group of kids who were like singing and dancing on stage and performing, and also doing acting, comedy, drama. So it was a combination of this TV show plus the albums of the group. So and that has been always that way, you know. Like when I was working on radio stations, I was uh, presenting music, interviewing artists, or when I was on television, like I was just flying to festivals to interview artists. Like it has everything. It's always been next to music, and yeah, it's just my favorite thing to do. Like I have done theater, I have done TV, I have done radio. Nothing compares to the feeling of doing a rock show. It's just that's the highest level you can get. So that's why I've been dedicating more myself to music than other things, because it just feels like nothing else.
Indeed, and it's
It's
a
the
great
best.
investment. It's a great lifelong investment. It really pays off each and every
It's
day.
a difficult career. It's a
Yes,
difficult career, but
that's
it's
true as
worth it.
well. Yeah, it's well worth it. Absolutely.
Totally.
Yep. And now for the end of this great interview. Thank you very much, guys, for being here on the 9th of September on Let's Get Rock. It's been a great pleasure to chat with you. It was a great interview and a great experience. I'd like to ask you the final additional question. Where do you see your music in the next couple of years? Thank you.
Um, Out. That would be the short answer would be
Yeah,
out, because you have those songs in your pockets. You have you the music process. It's so long. We Oscar and I we always talk about it. I mean, unless you're literally the Rolling Stones, that I was just watching an interview last night, and they start doing the album on December last year, and I mean it's coming out in October. For us, the normal people, it's very a hard process. It takes long. Like you go from first the idea, your music born as an idea, as a thought,
yeah,
as a jam. Then you work on the song, you got the arrangements, you go and finally record it. Then you have to mix it. Then you master it,
yeah,
and then you start working on the art. So it's like, oh my gosh, I wanna put this music out like so, like immediately
yeah. So badly.
when you were yeah when you're rehearsing the song, it's like you wanna play it live like immediately, kind of
Absolutely,
like that
absolutely.
night. So it's just
It's part of being a musician.
yeah. So really, it feels like forever. So how I see
It
the
does.
music out, um, I hope that people still enjoying what we were doing right now, um, and just playing. That's how I see Johnny Nasty Boots doing it, like soon on the near future.
Mhm.
Playing a lot.
There's a famous phrase on this career that's called "hurry up and wait." That's pretty much it. you gotta hurry up on everything that you're doing, like to like not to rush it, but
Yeah,
to be working, be active, and just hurry up on everything.
absolutely. Yeah,
So
it's
it doesn't take too long. But then you have to wait a hell up, because there's a lot of other process, as Johnny was saying, that you need to wait for everybody to reach back to you, or like waiting for the right mix, and like and then you gotta have like 1 month ahead. So you upload your song to digital platforms, you have to wait a month, so those songs can reach to playlists, etc. So it's really interesting, that phrase "hurry up and wait." It's a fact.
yeah,
And there's a lot of times when you have to hurry up, and there's a lot of times when you just have to wait.
yeah. It's a productive
That's what it
hurry.
is.
In other words, I think it's a productive sort of hurry.
Yeah. But we are really excited of the new songs that we just record,
Cool.
and we know for sure that our fans are gonna love it, because they've been waiting for a while for new music, and
Absolutely.
I hope people are like excited and to make new audience and to reach new fans with these new songs too.
Great, great. Sounds great. Well, it's a long way to the top, but I'm sure you guys will achieve your dreams and that you will achieve great success if you keep at it. And you need to keep on working on your great skills and keep on improving them, keep on rehearsing. It's in this long way to the top, it's 99% rehearsing sometimes and 1% inspiration. It often feels like it. I don't know if you guys ever had this feeling
Yeah,
before, but okay, you
inspiration.
had it. So it's
Inspiration. It's not just a thing that it's like. I think people when it's like they talk about inspiration, it sounds like it's a magical thing. Like you are literally just chilling and suddenly boom, I got the greatest song ever. No, it's,
it's
I
not
mean,
like
you
that.
got ideas sometimes,
Yeah.
but inspiration needs to catch you working.
Yeah, it's a lot of work actually. It's a lot of work, a lot
Yeah.
of rehearsing, a lot of sleepless nights sometimes, a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
sleepless days as well. So it's a lot of sleepless time,
It's
both
amazing.
both
It's a
during
lot of
daytime and nighttime. It's a lot of work indeed.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. It was a great chat that I had with you. We've just had Johnny Nasty Boots from LA with us. It was a great experience, and I wish you guys plenty of success and all the best. Also, send my best regards to Robby Krieger and to any other major
Yeah.
legendary rock musician that you will inevitably, meet up there in LA. Guys, it was great. Thank you very much and rock on.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thanks to you, man.
Rock on.